with us today. He's back in town.
He's back, baby. Hold on, let me give him this.
He's back, baby.
Ooh, I like a good horn.
Akeem, I feel like you started off in Orlando.
Meek, mild. Didn't even know he was gay. Didn't even know he was gay.
I knew I was gay. I didn't tell y'all.
I remember. I remember when people didn't know you were gay. That's what I meant.
Started off
That's
a closeted gay orphan. In Orlando. Then you
Now
got shot off into the world.
Fucking killing it.
And you're traveling the world and you're grinding in New York.
And he's hobnobbing with some of the biggest celebrities. Been on some of the biggest podcasts.
I
was just
know.
watching you on what is it?
Horrible Decisions?
Angela Yee's.
Lip Service. Yeah, I did Lip Service.
Yeah, I saw you on that.
Okay. It's funny how big podcasting got. I don't even know. The biggest podcast, I just know Rogan, Corolla, Mark Maron.
Yeah, you just named 3 white dudes.
Exactly. That's the old white man podcast.
You're the problem.
I stopped at that. Anyway, so Akeem, okay. So I'm jealous of you because you're out there living your best life. Like I said,
are you single? You're single.
I'm single. Yeah, I'm fucking strangers, but I'm single.
And
it's been a long time since I fucked strangers.
I had fucked a stranger 2 days ago.
I'm a little bit a stranger.
Yeah,
he never got to do that.
3 times actually.
3 times.
There's hookup apps now.
In the same day.
Yeah. So what happens is he came over on his work break. I live in the East Village. I live in a studio in the East Village, so it's like everything is right by NYU, and a lot of people work over there.
Yeah.
So he hit me up on
kind of like I only know Castleberry and Fern Park.
Well, it's nothing like that.
Oh my God.
So he hit me up on the app, and we were texting back and forth, and he came over and we hooked up, and it was like we immediately had like amazing sexual chemistry, like it was amazing. So we hooked up, and then he left, and then the whole time we're texting while he was at work. And he's like, he wanted to come by after work, but he didn't have time because he had a meeting.
Damn, Akeem, it was so good he had to come back.
He's like, I got a meeting, but I need some more dick.
But then he messaged me again, like at 5 o'clock. He's like, yo, I'm coming back over. So he came back over. We hooked up again. He left his badge thing at my...
That's on purpose.
Yeah.
He
That's
what you do.
He left his badge in my apartment. So later on, like 9:30, 10 o'clock, I texted him, like, yo, you left your badge here. He's like, damn, I'll come back and get it tomorrow. And I'm like, I can't. I'm flying to Orlando tomorrow. And I'm going to be on tour. I don't get back until the 10th. And he's like, damn, all right, I'm going to come back. So he came back and got his badge, and we hooked up again.
Again?
Triple threat.
Yeah, so we hooked up 3
with
times.
A badge on
and
top.
Is there any emotions involved or manipulation?
Horniness.
Sexual emotions, but
God,
I mean, every stroke has a. He's doing it with purpose.
But
yeah,
this
he's
doesn't
hot.
happen.
He was hot. He was like 25. He had like tattoos. He was super hot.
There you go.
See, I feel like I have the energy. Akeem, I'm older than you are.
Yeah, he knows that.
I thought he did not know that.
Old people. I mean,
he
white
looked at
people,
me like a.
but white people age
we're the
quickly.
same.
Yeah.
Like when you look
How
at us.
old are you?
41.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. And you know my age. I'm older than him.
Yeah, how old are you?
46.
46.
So I'm like a 50-year-old man.
Akeem,
coming in for a landing.
I still have the energy.
No, you don't.
I can go out there and grind it out too. Like I could travel the world.
Grind it out.
From city to city.
You would not be able to travel by yourself. You need a conservator.
No, Akeem can do it. I could do it.
How many women have you had sex with?
Oh, no.
One.
Oh, no.
It's been, just my wife.
Are you serious?
My wife. Did you see the look on Joe's face?
High school.
Did you see the look on Joe's face? You don't believe him, do you?
I grew up in small town Miami.
No, you didn't.
Small town, Miami.
Wait.
I grew up in DeLand, tiny little bumpkin town with tractors and
Have
shit.
you literally
This
only
guy
had
grew
sex
up in
with-
Miami, one woman.
You've only had sex with one woman?
Yeah, I mean, listen.
No trollop tails to
It's
this
not
guy.
that I didn't want to. It's just things
I did
happen.
what
All of
you-
a sudden, I'm
like,
like, what the hell? I'm in
20
Castleberry
years
prison.
ago, 20 years ago, I was wandering the streets of Orlando as a young, hetero, chubbier, and shorter Akeem. I was fucking everything I could find.
Wait. Has she only had sex with one man?
No.
Oh.
There was Antonio before me. This is in high school.
Antonio before Tom.
Yeah, she still has a dread.
Well, then you should
Were you trying to think of a rhyme, Sam? Because
No.
I thought you were Antonio before Tom.
You should
It's
just
the
saying,
boss.
You should try another one.
Well, I can now. I told you.
You guys can be open. Gay people are open all the time.
that doesn't
He's
work.
got it locked up now.
It works for us.
Akeem.
doesn't
Well,
work for
no,
her.
it works for you. That's why I'm talking about it and fantasizing about living the comic life because I feel like I can put an act together and
All right, let's not belittle what I do.
Oh, he does that to everyone.
You can just take me under your wing and I can open for you.
I'm not gonna have a white straight dude open for me. No,
but it's the difference. Like people are like, oh, what is this?
No.
Like
opener's gonna be black women.
Do you have to think of let's talk about that, because I mean your career is not only taking shape. I mean you're currently shaping it.
Thank you.
Do you have to put a lot of? Do you have older comics and like Godfrey?
Yeah.
Do you have people that sit you down and say, "Hey, you need to think about this. You need to think about this.
Sometimes,
you need to do
but
this."
I like my openers are always my friends, and I just have such a diverse group of friends that my openers tend to be just my friends. And my friends tend to be people of color and queer people and stuff like that. That's just by happenstance.
Yeah, but what about just a regular old white dad?
Hard pass.
There's plenty of those.
That's so different than your friends.
A man that describes himself
bizarre.
as, you described yourself earlier as having resting mad face.
Yeah.
What every comedian wants to open. Like, he'll warm the crowd perfectly.
That's my personal time.
Luke of the Lizard came out.
My personal time.
Luke of the Lizard came out.
Joe was trying to pet him.
Just climb out?
Yeah.
He's free range.
Yeah, he's a free-range lizard we have in here. Yeah, he shits everywhere.
Maybe he's trying to go on tour with
little
Akeem.
white.
He can come on tour. I have the lizard before I have.
Come on.
Yeah. The lizard can do a type 5.
So describe it to me, Akeem. Give me, because I have to live vicariously through you. Because, like I said, I'm in the Castleberry prison, where
Oh my God! So you've never had like a threesome?
There was a gray area.
I slept with a lot of ladies. I slept with a
we?
lot of ladies, but that's not one. And I've never had anal sex with a woman either.
Okay.
We're real open about the shit we do on the show.
You guys should go to a sex party. Or
I don't think I want butt sex.
That's
I'm
done.
not anti it at all, really. It's just, I don't know. I've had no reason to have it.
You and your wife should go to a sex club. I just went to one recently.
The woodshed.
It's like
you need to tie your titties up till they turn purple.
It's like you're talking to David Hasselhoff currently and telling him you should start a movie. It's dried up, Akeem. It doesn't exist. Of course he wants to.
Just
he
go.
can't do it. Just go.
That's the weirdest analogy I've ever heard.
That was a
I
weird
totally
analogy.
understood it though.
But what's Hasselhoff supposed to do? He can do it, Akeem.
When's your anniversary?
Well, how's anybody supposed to know that?
Nobody does that.
Didn't it just pass?
No, March 1st.
Is you and your wife?
Yeah.
You guys should go to like something fun, like do something fun for your anniversary.
I don't think his wife would do it. Like if it's kinky, I'm not sure she would.
You're not into that. There's a whole different world
Their
up
mom
here.
and dads now.
It's reverse scuba diving.
They're boring.
You can. I fuck some hot ass dads.
I understand that.
These
are not that.
that have.
They barely leave their homes.
Okay.
So tell me about it, Akeem.
Do any of the dads you fuck have families and they're like, hey, just
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, you don't talk about it.
I like that. You're fucking the dads and then they're having to hide it.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm glad
I
Akeem.
love that.
I've had this question for a while that I've been waiting to ask.
Okay.
Really?
What is this question?
Yeah. Every morning he gets up, he looks at the question, he wants to ask you.
When Akeem comes back next
he's
year.
like, I've got it ready.
Because I bet Akeem knows. So every once in a while, you hear about someone that reveals that he's been like hiding his sexuality.
People.
I had a person in my
all
family.
Republican senators. Yeah.
Well, I had a person in my family who married and then never had kids, but then had to reveal to his wife, wife, I'm sorry, this was a mistake, and I apologize. And they're still very good friends, but he was not.
So now I know that it's a spectrum, and so it's not just you're gay or straight. There's a whole spectrum involved, a million different possibilities. So
a million's a lot, but I feel what you're saying.
But but what I'm saying is not just
it's not cut and dry. Yeah.
So,
it's a gray area.
So say there's a dad and he's got a family, and he's he's sucking your dick, right?
I like that. So, I'm glad you just cut to it.
But so. I'm always wondering,
my dick, Dad.
Is he?
That's what I say.
Now he wants to do this, but is it with him and his family and his wife? He can.
They're
still,
in the car too, waiting.
No, but he can still.
What is the question, Tom?
Oh my God!
Does he like being with his wife?
I don't know.
As well, or does he like sucking your dick more?
I don't
You
think
speak
Akeem's
for all
go
gay men, Akeem.
I don't talk about his wife. I just fuck him and go home.
But you never asked.
Hold on.
You're like,
No, you don't get involved.
Do you like this more
No, it
than
would be
women?
funny if Akeem, while he's sucking his dick, says, "Hey, hold on."
Do you like your wife? wife.
Yeah, what do you like better?
I want to know which
what do you
he
think
likes
about?
more.
Do you think about your wife when you're sucking my dick?
He probably loves his wife. He could be bi and loves having sex with his wife, but he could also he really enjoys having sex with men. And there's a bad stigma around homosexuality when it comes to men, especially. So he hides it because of the social norms of presenting as a straight man.
But what does he like more? I feel like he likes the dick more.
No,
right?
no, you only feel like that because he gets pussy all the time.
So it's just something different.
So he likes he could like
the
dick.
difference.
He can like the dick equally. He can like the dick less. But the fact is, he's not able to get dick as much as he wants because he's not openly gay. So it's taboo.
I think I see what you're asking.
Know what
I think what he's trying to figure out is,
yeah.
I think based on what you're asking
you
and the
want
way you
everyone
asked
to be
it,
like the same, and it's gonna vary from person to person.
Well, it's easier if everyone's the same.
I think you answered your own question. I think that of course he likes the dick sucking better because he's hiding it. And it's more exciting.
Okay, well, yeah.
That's a dumb question.
Is it a dumb question?
I think it is.
Because I want to.
I think it's it's like, I don't know, some people, like when you think of bisexuality, there's always bisexual men who lead in one way or another. I don't think it's ever necessarily a 50-50. There's always bisexual men who's like, oh, I like women more, but every now and then I hook up with a trans woman or a very feminine woman or a very feminine man and blah, blah, blah. And then you have other dudes who's like, hey, I fuck women every now and then, but I usually fuck dudes. And there's a leaning towards it. I'm like, I think you could be 80% straight. Every now and then you let a dude suck your dick or whatever. Or you could be me, 99.9% gay. And
the thought of having sex with a woman disgusts you.
It doesn't disgust me. It does nothing for me.
That's your thing. Yeah, nothing there.
I'm not disgusted by it. I just don't. It does nothing for me at all.
It's just like you wouldn't get horny over
No,
it.
I've never had sex with a woman.
So I got so many questions there, but the answers to them is everybody's different.
Yeah.
And it's more complicated than you think. And that's the problem.
Much,
you know,
much.
but everybody, like, I feel like if you're ignorant to any lifestyle, you just want to simplify it, and I'm here to say nothing simple in life, right?
No,
and that's the hard,
not.
and that's what causes so many problems, is because it's more complicated than people want to try to make it.
It's not cut and dry, but people would like it to be.
So when you do your act and when you're out and you're trying to think of new jokes and you're writing things and you're sharing some of these tales, how do you choose which ones are too far? How do you test them out?
Sometimes I'll post them on Facebook or online, and if they get a lot of likes on Facebook or whatever, then I'll try them on stage. Sometimes I just try them on stage at like shows where it's like whatever. Like if you like it, you don't. It doesn't. Not to say that it doesn't matter, but like when I'm doing spots in New York at some clubs, I can just try stuff out and it'll sink or stream, or it'll either sink or do really well.
Right.
And but I just tell all the stories, and then I'm like, some of them work, and then some of them I'm like, oh, well, that's not gonna work.
Yeah.
And
do you ever get any backlash from someone you told the story about that heard you saying the story on stage? No,
because a lot of the dudes I'm fucking aren't really following my comedy career.
Right.
Yeah, but then all of a sudden you start doing a special on Netflix.
Yeah.
And
Well, he's not
they'll
doxing them. He's not giving out their names.
Yeah, but they'll know. They'll be like, that was me.
Well, that's
well,
for their knowledge to know.
We'll cross that bridge when we get there.
Yeah. I mean, that's a good problem to have, I guess.
I mean, I told a U-Haul story on Horrible Decisions. Is a really popular podcast. It went viral on Twitter, like really viral on Twitter, and they haven't reached back out to me. So I'm sure. So, and if they do, they're like, "Oh yeah, that's the dude that fucked us in the U-Haul."
So they
Tom
probably
didn't
saw.
I said that to him, and he screams, "In a U-Haul!"
Yeah.
And I was like, "Yeah."
It was really fun.
Well,
sounds fun.
it makes it because
or horrible.
Guys are horny.
It's not going to be in the middle. It's not going to be like, it was okay.
In hindsight, it was very unsafe, but like whatever, it was fun.
Like, you know how many times I've been
hooked
in
up
a
in a
U-Haul
Staples too,
and want to do
a Staples, like the store?
Yeah.
Like,
in the store?
God,
in the bathroom.
Aren't those closing
in
everywhere?
the bathroom?
Yeah.
Of Staples. My God.
I went there to go pee, and then this dude. So you know how in the urinals there's 3 urinals. There's the middle one, the right and left. And I always see like the middle one's the gay one. Like if you're standing in the middle urinal and no one is on the right and left, that's gay. You want someone to see your dick. So I never stand in the middle one because I think that's rude. So I always stand in the right or the left.
Never heard that.
So people can opt to not. So anyway, I'm standing on the far left urinal. There's a middle urinal that's empty. And then those are the other urinal that was open. So a dude walked in. He stood in the middle one, which is like the gay urinal.
Okay.
And he's looking over at my dick, and he gestures, and I look over his, and we just look at each other. And then I get done peeing. I go in the stall. He follows me, and then we hook up.
Oh, is that easy?
Yeah.
Easy, my God. I go to Staples. I can't even
He
find
looked
a
at my
person
dick.
to
I
tell
looked at his dick.
Yeah,
Let's
yeah.
go.
I go to Staples. I can't even find one person to help me get computer paper.
Yeah.
This motherfucker's going in there, and he's meeting handsome men.
Yeah, he was hot. He was
Do you
pretty hot.
understand how hard it is as the normal, regular
Resting mad face.
middle-aged fat dad to get their dick sucked? It is a tremendous amount of
wouldn't
work.
you got to go to Staples.
No,
Yeah.
no, that doesn't exist.
Or you can, go crazy at a blood donation center and your wife will offer you one.
Yeah.
Well, that's the anomaly, Sam. That's outside.
You say that, but I don't think so. Again, like you said, everybody's different. There's a lot of Dans out there.
I forgot that was me. Yeah, I was getting blood tests done, and my wife to calm me down was like, I'll suck your dick. I was like, thank you.
I just don't.
Actually, I turned it down.
That's not a popular meme. I can tell if
It's
something's
not a popular meme on your algorithm.
There's no meme that's like, my wife sucks my dick too much.
Wait.
And then the guy's giving a thumbs
Don't
up.
say that.
Tom, have you ever had sex in public?
It like
He barely has sex.
people that saw it, like
No, just in public in general, like at in a public place, like in the woods or Staples, like
in the back of a car after Jimmy's wedding one time.
Oh my God.
I was a younger man though.
In the
I
back
was
of
in
a
my
car?
20s. That doesn't happen anymore.
In an orange grove.
I had plenty of life experiences. It just none of them.
The back of a car is cool. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just gauging how
But
boring you are.
with your future wife, it's not cool. It's not cool anymore.
He has sex in silence.
It's not as much of an adventure. Like, I
Yeah.
think he looks at what you're doing. He's like, that looks like a fun adventure.
It's fun. I like it.
Well, you know what? You know how many times a dude has been in a bathroom and like, I wish someone was sucking my dick right now. Like it happens
that every time I go to
every
the
day. And then if you have two dudes that like sucking each other's dick, it works out perfect. That's why you have an advantage over the rest of us.
Yeah. Well,
Plus, you
listen,
guys are at Staples, so you're
God,
getting work done.
there's no disadvantage
I was
to
just
being
there
gay.
to pee. But
Except for all the hate.
So let's talk about all
except for Florida,
I
and
missed the joke.
Have we talked to you since you were on James Corden? I don't think we did we?
We talked, but I don't think we talked about James Corden because we went on some sex rant.
Oh yeah, we always get on some sex rant. So let's start there because I think that's like the last time we communicated with you. And
I did it Corden like 2 years ago, I think.
Yeah. Before the world shut down and everything sort of changed. So how was that experience? Was it good?
So great. James couldn't have been nicer. Whenever people ask me about like, was James nice? I'm like, he was very nice to me.
Sure.
But also he was at work. Like you're not gonna be a dick at work.
Yeah, you're not giving him a salad.
Yeah.
Right.
But he was so nice. We sat in the green room before the show and we talked for like 25 minutes about comedy and about London because that's like where he grew up or whatever. He was super nice.
You know, I hear that from like late night hosts that like they'll go and talk to their guests in the green room before, and then I've always thought just record that conversation and put it out as a podcast.
Yeah,
because that's probably infinitely more interesting because you have more time.
But
than
I think it's more interesting because they know it's personal.
I
think if you threw in the aspect that it was being recorded, it wouldn't be as
changes.
It wouldn't be as if they recorded it secretly, then probably.
Yeah, you'd have to record it secretly and then afterwards say, hey, just so you know, we were secretly recording you. And we know you're mad.
Yeah.
But can we release that?
Yeah, exactly.
But it's just the late night format has always been is now our content that people aren't as interested in. You know?
Well, yeah, but it went really well. It was really fun to do.
You look good on it. I liked your outfit.
Thank you. Shout out to Yamanika. I always have to give her credit. Yamanika helped me pick out that outfit. I don't know if you guys know Yamanika. She's phenomenal.
Was she like a designer?
She's a comedian.
She was in here.
Yeah. When did we have?
Couldn't tell you.
She's so funny.
Oh, we talked to her about
black woman.
It all runs together because we've had so many people come through. Especially if we talked to her during the pandemic, that's gone in my brain.
She's one of the funniest comics in New York.
Yes.
She's on that new show Life and Beth with Amy Schumer.
We talked to her about hanging out with you, and then we knew you. Yeah, I remember that.
I love her. But yeah, I was FaceTiming her while I was in LA looking for my outfit, and she helped me pick it out.
Living in New York, what is it now? Is like a lot of people took off after the pandemic or during the pandemic as far as
it's back to being regular New York.
It's the same as before.
Same, dirty, amazing, great, terrible homeless people.
Is real estate prices still super high? Is that because
it's lower than it was? It's like mid. It's not crazy, but it's not
starting to come back.
Exactly. It's not as bad as it was from what I've heard, but it's not like, I live in a place and I'm doing all right.
Because I feel like there was
I'm in a studio.
There was a peak time if you wanted to live in New York, like during the right.
Oh yeah,
in the
rent
middle
was
of the pandemic.
People were getting crazy rent deals because it was a mass exodus.
Yeah. So
because New York is I wasn't there during the pandemic. I got there a little bit after, but New York is like a terrible place to be in the pandemic because it's so on top of each other.
Yeah. The whole thing was designed for people to be smushed together.
Yeah, so most people were like, "Let's get out of here." So the rent went down a lot. I know some people who got some crazy deals.
Yeah. I'm sure there was a lot of people that took advantage of that time, but the problem is rent. So with rent, it'll always go back up.
Yeah, it's gonna go someplace else.
Yeah. I guess if you purchased an apartment or something.
Well, even though, but the rent can only go up by law. The rent can only go up a certain amount each year. So by law, if you got a really, really good deal, by law, you can do the math like, hey, this is going to be a good deal for at least 3 years.
Gotcha.
Because they only can increase this much.
So imagine that anxiety as you move into your new place.
Yeah,
you know
exactly.
What I mean? Like, this is great, but I'll be out of here in about 2.5 years.
Yeah, because then they'll kick you out.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you go party after sets like
party?
Well, I'm just saying, like after you get done working.
I've never drank in my life.
Well, I mean,
you mean like take
go
on the
out.
night?
Go hang out, yeah.
Yeah.
But I normally most of my I'd say 80% of my friends are comics. So if I'm hanging out, I'm mostly like hanging out at like the Cellar, or just hanging out with them like in the city, walking around. I don't like go to clubs and stuff like that.
Gotcha. Yeah.
And not drinking though, I think that's got to be good for you in your career.
Yeah, I've never drank. I've never drank in my life.
Yeah, I mean, but it's got to like keep you like kind of like organized.
Yeah, I mean, and I save. I would say I save a lot of money because I mean, granted, at most of the clubs you drink for free, but
sure.
Yeah, I just never been interested in it, so I never did it.
They should give you something else, like if you are a sober comedian, like they
extra
give you
money. Yeah,
I'm sorry,
they give you like $500 extra. I
think that'd be great. Yeah. They give us food and stuff at the Cellar.
Yeah, but
you get
chicken fingers don't pay the rent. You know,
you're right.
But there was a time like you booked Artie Lang, and he's drinking like $800 of booze or food or whatever. You know, so that's a lot.
Some of these people are really bad alcoholics. And it's fun to watch because I'm sober, just like, hey, you guys are messy.
Have you ever been in these situations? Because, I mean, the people that you're, in like, I was going to say in cahoots. Who says that? What am I, a cowboy? But, like, the people that you're kind of navigating that are, like, in adjacent lanes that might help you, or you're on a bill, or you see what they do. Do you ever see anybody and you're like, oh, man, that's not good, and you just, I mean, because you're professional, you're not going to I've seen
some people close
like famous
to
people.
Yeah. I won't say names, but I've seen some famous people like blackout drunk, and I'm like, oh, this is or someone drunk and they're promising these young comic stuff, and I'm like, oh, they don't realize how drunk he is, and they think this is gonna matter tomorrow.
Right.
Yeah. I've seen that a few times.
Because New York, I mean, legitimately, like when I think of stand-up comedy, I always just that's the first place I think of.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I think
it's because it's like it's where you go to do stand-up. New York is the city for stand-up. LA is the city for TV shit.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about that. I mean, you've been wanting to do that and have done some, right?
Yeah, I lived in LA for 4 years, but you guys know that.
Yeah, we know that. But like, what stuff? Like, are you doing any like? Because didn't you wanted to get on a show, right?
I still do. I'm audition. I've done a few auditions and stuff. I did late night. I did a show. I was on season 2 of Pause on HBO with Sam J. So that was really fun. I'm on a new show called Sex Cells on Fuse TV. It didn't come out till November though.
Nice. What is that about?
It's like a man on the street type show, and it really talk about sex. And the episode that I'm in, we were like on the street talking about dick pics, and we got some people on the street to show us their dick pics, which was really fun. Some of those dick pics was good. And then we went to like an orgy and stuff like that. It's real fun. It's a show about sex.
I feel like there are a lot of people that would be willing to show you a picture of them nude as long as they're not sending it to you.
Well, it did help that my
control.
Yeah, because you're like here. Because I feel like there are a lot of people that would be willing to show themselves nude if they knew all the person has is their memory of it, which is still something.
Yeah, and it helped that the co-host is her name's, I don't know if you guys probably know Wheezy. She has the podcast Horrible Decisions. She's one of the people on there. She's gorgeous. So it helped that she was next to me. So in their head, they're like, they really want to show it to her because she's gorgeous, but like, I guess this gay dude can look too.
Yeah.
So that was helpful.
What is that? Because I used to make that joke about like wanting to show your genitals to a beautiful person.
I don't know. I don't have that. So
you don't have that?
You're gonna have to speak on this.
But there's I mean, not that I never do that.
Do you
but
have that? Do you have the thing where
if someone asks to see my dick, I'll show it to them. But I'm not like
no, like if you see, like if you're standing in a man or standing in a room with there's a good-looking man.
Yeah.
Do you instantly want to show this guy? If he sees
no,
a beautiful
no,
woman,
no.
He instantly want to shows his dick or shows
no,
his dick
I don't have that want at all.
It's not that
you're a predator or something.
No,
you're a creep.
It's in the back of your head of like things that you would like to do.
No, it's in the back of your head. Don't put that in our head. That's your head.
It's the thing, the fucking CK and all these people. They goddamn
It's all the memes I see.
It's your thing, Tom.
There's so much of it though. It's not just me.
You got a kink. You got
a problem.
You got what's that kink where you like to expose yourself in public? I can't think of the word.
No, I'm not a goddamn
exhibitionist.
Exhibitionist,
I'm not that.
You're an exhibitionist.
No, I don't want to do that. I'm just saying
it's just in there.
It's a seed.
It's ingrained in him.
In the
his
back
core.
of my brain.
He's had this, like he has said that.
You got to go to a sex club. Get these kinks out.
I think maybe you do. Maybe
too awkward.
Just because you can't feel it. You can't experience it.
I mean, everyone's awkward when they first go, but once you get and you drink, so you get a few drinks in you and get loose, you're fine.
Yeah. Have you done it?
I don't drink, but I've been to a sex club.
Yeah. Like is the vibe like when you go for the first time? Is the vibe just like, oh my god, I can't do this?
I went with someone, so it was so
easier.
I think if I went by myself, I would have been kind of scared. But I went with someone. It was hella fun. Bunch of dudes fucking everywhere. It was great.
So like I go with you in a sex club.
Oh, you don't want to go to the sex club I'm going to. I'm going to the gay one.
Do they have like a?
They have sex clubs for straight people.
Yeah, they put you in the where your babies stay.
Yeah. They have sex clubs for straight people. I don't go to those obviously because I don't want to see naked women.
Let's say
that'd be a waste.
I go into the sex club with you. What is there a bar up front? What are we talking here?
It varies. Some are steam rooms, some are saunas. Some
it's
you
a
want.
Sauna?
Yeah.
Okay.
Some were like,
so walking into a sauna. Is there no lobby?
No, so you'd walk in and check in, and it varies. Some are like clothed optional, so some you can be fully clothed or in gym shorts or in a jock strap, and some are just like everyone has to be naked. It depends on which one you go to.
Is there a lobby? Can I buy a Red Bull?
He wants a locker to put his clothes in like he's getting on the Hulk coaster at Universal.
Yes, there are lobbies. Yes.
Okay.
You don't just walk in the room and everyone's fucking.
No, I noticed, but what's the lobby look like, and what's the options?
There's more than one sex club. I can't speak to all sex clubs.
He wants them all to be the same. I'm telling you, this is my day. Every day, it's this with Tom.
You have to give me the details because I don't know what it is.
Sex clubs and look, they show pictures of the club.
The only ones I know are from the videos, and then the ass is sticking out of some guy's banging and there's a wall. And
there's
it's
so many different types of leather clubs. It's a lot.
But Daniel knows what I'm talking about. It's a fucking there's ladies' asses and cut out in the wall, and you pay money and you go and you bang the. That's the only thing I know.
That's a very specific.
I think that's a porn that you watch.
Yeah. I think what Akeem is talking about is more of like a legitimate, where it almost sounds like friends.
Yeah.
They're like buddies. They're like, hey, my buddy's having this, it's an adult party, and you come over, and then when you walk in, let's say maybe there's a bar at the front. You tell me if I'm hitting the mark.
There's that option, but there are literal legit sex clubs. Where it's a club where men and women, or just men, go to have consenting sex in like group orgies.
I mean, the woodshed is that.
Yeah, we have them here too.
Yeah, I mean they're everywhere.
So tell me about it.
I don't know. I've never been
to.
There's a bar.
Do you want him?
Well, they're all different, right? Because like the woodshed is more of like a warehouse type situation.
I've never been to one here. The only one I went to was one in New York.
Well, that's what I want to hear about.
If you're
and there's some that are like veiled as like men's health spas. So yes, they will have like a lobby and stuff, but then you can go back into the steam rooms or the hot tubs.
Cucumber water. I want towels.
They're all different.
But I want to know, like, okay, I walk into the sex club, right?
There's one that the one that I went to was a BDM. It was during BDSM week. So it was way more intense for you. You couldn't. It's a lot to start off with.
I can handle it. I mean, I'm tough as hell.
Okay. So this particular club was just like, it was very much focused on BDM. So there was people being tied up. There was like a part of the club where there was like.
Is it dark in there?
It is dark. It's dark.
Carpet or tile?
It's all tile because they had like a pee thing at the end.
Yeah. 21P salute. All right, everybody.
No, they did. They had a bunch.
All right, I want everybody respectful. This is for my dead grandfather.
No, it was this one guy who was really into pee, so he threw like this thing, and then like you get to hang out.
Hey,
whatever.
at the end, guys, if I'm good, will you piss on my butthole?
Correct.
All
and
right.
everyone peed on this dude.
But did you?
So the thing was, there was
plan?
like, yeah, the thing was like it was free.
The plan was to pee.
No, I know, but it's like
so there was it was free drinks. So everyone there was drinking. Yeah.
God, he sat there for hours.
So you could pee on
Were
the dude.
they serving them out of an ice chest?
No, just regular beers or whatever. You just drink whatever.
Yeah, what I'm saying was.
And then at the end of the night,
you hand me one of
pee
these
on that guy.
Sobe Whites.
Yeah, and then at the end of the night, you pee on the dude who wants to get peed on.
Yeah, okay, but I need to know more details. So are you standing there? Is it all going around you, or do you have to go into a different room?
Those different rooms.
And then does someone who says like, "Hey, who wants to pee on someone?" And then everybody raise their hand.
It was on the invite. It was on the invite. Yeah.
And we piss on Charles at midnight.
That was one of the events.
It was an event. Yes.
It was on the invite.
I'm telling you right now, if somebody sent me an invitation at the end says, "Hey," and at the end of the night at midnight we're pissing on Jerry, I'll fucking be there.
Like
I'll be there.
It was it's well organized.
Awesome.
Gay people were organized. It was all organized.
It's like the cruise agenda that Tony gives us.
It was itinerary.
At 1 o'clock, you go meet here and you do this.
Itinerary.
So then when you're peeing on Jerry, is he nude? Where is he staying?
It's up to Jerry.
No, I'd really like to wear my Old Navy puffy
Piss
jacket.
soaked clothes. Probably not.
Is he sitting in a swimming pool? Is there, how many dudes?
It's all up to Jerry and what Jerry wants.
Yeah, I mean, is there...
Jerry's kink.
Yeah, it's his kink.
What if there's too many? We're like, we can't...
Not in my eyes. Not in my eyes.
Waterboarding and piss?
Yeah. Like, when everybody puts their hand in, and then...
I don't know. I didn't
one
pee
guy
on
has
Jerry.
to put their hand over the person's shoulder.
I didn't stick around.
Was there one person... I'd like to think that there's one person where they're like, did they do a countdown? Was it like 3, 2, 1?
I don't know. I didn't stick around for the peeing part, but I just know...
Because I'd like for the one guy that's like, I'm running late. He runs in. He's like, ah!
Well, my prostate, I have to push
hard.
And then sometimes I'm
That's not sexy. Don't talk about your prostate.
I can only
you can just pretend. You can just pretend like people that unplug their guitars when they're on stage.
Put your dick in there.
The guy will see me and be like, "You're not pissing."
Go to a sauna, like a sex place that's like a sauna. It's just like a sauna. You go in, you check in, you pay whatever much for a locker fee, and then you can either do sexual stuff. People will be having sex. You can go in and watch, or you can join, or you can just enjoy the fucking sauna. Those sex places like that.
That sounds good. I hide from my family. I'll just sit in the sauna watching people fuck, and then no one will know I'm in there.
The closest sauna to me is Planet Fitness. Happening in there?
No. I mean, people are fucking in Planet Fitness, but
yeah, they are.
Yeah,
Definitely are.
But is it... Everybody there is on the same page, though.
Yes.
Okay, so there's not just some random
old
Jewish guy in the sauna.
Everyone knows what the place is,
and you don't need to sign anything.
No.
Okay. Yeah, see,
they check your ID.
How much do you have to pay?
I don't know. It varies. 20, 25, 40, 50, depends on where you're
That's
at.
cheaper than going to the movie.
I've wasted that much money this morning.
I could either go to see the machine, which or I could piss on Jerry at midnight.
Yeah,
I know where I'm going.
It all depends on some. I mean, the more nice exclusive places probably cost more, but
that's fucking awesome.
Is there creepers in the gay community where, because I've heard this.
I don't see gay creepers. That's a good question. I'm sure there are.
And
creepers everywhere.
In the swinging community, which I've done my research on and I've talked a lot about. So I kind of know what's going on.
I've seen the creepers in the swinging community.
And then every once in a while you get some single dude that wanders in there.
I think there's creepers in every community. Yeah, whenever you're having fun and having consensual fun sex, someone doesn't understand the lines and wants to be creepy about it. But there's nothing you can do about it because that's just the nature of the game.
Can you boot them out?
No, some clubs they give warnings, and then if you do it again, they will kick you out, and they've banned people and stuff like that.
Embarrassing, man. You're standing there, you're naked, some guy telling you to get the fuck out of there. Oh god.
Yeah.
Pull me aside.
Don't
do it in front of everybody.
Yeah, they're employees who their job is to make sure it's a safe space. So if you're being too creepy, they're like, hey, we warned you once, Jeff, but one more time, and we're gonna kick you out, and then they kick you out and they ban you and stuff like that. Yeah.
How do you find out where these places are?
The internet.
The
thing you tell me all the time.
Yeah, it's
on there.
Everything's in your pocket.
You can Google sex clubs nearby, and it'll pop up.
Don't the cops try to bust them? And
they're not doing
that?
anything illegal.
Well, you know how
you're having sex
are.
inside a building, so it's not in public.
It's consensual.
It's everyone there.
You're paying for entrance, not for the sex.
Yeah, everyone there is at a certain age. There's nothing illegal about it.
Yeah, I know.
Sex is just is just this weird thing that people demonize as this bad thing.
It's just a wet handshake.
Yeah, it's not.
That's what I say.
It's not illegal. You're not doing anything illegal, so the cops can't do anything. Now, if you're there doing drugs or whatever, then yeah, of course. But like,
is that something that like in New York, do you see less drugs in New York or more?
I saw
drugs?
more drugs in LA than I just saw in New York. Yeah. Everyone in LA was doing coke.
What do you think of LA? Like, not your vibe?
It wasn't for me. I always say if it's for you, it's for you. I'm friends with Carmen is out there. You know Carmen. She loves it.
Carmen.
JB Ball's out there. He loves it. Like, it's for some people. It just wasn't for me. I gave it 4 years and I left.
So, Akeem, what's the next step after? Yeah, of course, I don't think we even plugged your show. Akeem's,
well, I've been trying to. I always know that when he comes in, we're just going to talk. So I've been trying to hit him on everything we have: Twitter, Instagram, everything.
Yeah. Follow me on Instagram at Akeem Woods. I'm finally at 11,000 followers, which is very small, but like it's getting there. Akeem Woods on social media. I'm headlining the Orlando Improv tonight. 7:30. Go to akeemwoods.com to get tickets.
Yes.
We had promo code, but we gave all those tickets away. But if you're like broke and you needed tickets, just DM me. I can put you on a list. AkeemWoods.com.
There you go.
Akeem Woods Instagram. You can follow my TikTok, I guess. I never post on there. I have 19,000 followers there. I don't do anything with them.
That's good though.
But Akeem Woods is on that as well. And you can follow my Twitter. I think I have 15 followers.
And you're doing shows. You're doing the show tonight.
I'm headlining tonight,
so
and then
sell
we
that
have
out.
Yeah, and we have a super special guest. I can't say who it is, but they are very funny, and they were just recently nominated for an Emmy.
There you go.
I'll tell you guys who the special guest is off the air.
Okay.
And then Friday, Saturday, and Sunday I'm with Godfrey.
There you go.
And he gets in tomorrow morning.
So when you're having conversations with other comics in New York, what's the next? What's everybody saying? This is what you got to do next.
No one. We don't talk about shit like that.
No.
We talk about this stuff. We talk about sex and crazy stuff.
Who's the business?
I mean, if I have a business question, we will discuss it. Like if I'm at the cellar and I'm asking like Keith a question or someone like that's been in the game for a long time, we'll have a conversation like that. But we typically just have fun.
But you've really been dialing it in though, man. Super organized, really good videos, really good promotion, really good. So did you make an active effort to?
I did all. I'm trying to do more on social media, so I'm actively doing more on social media. I'm about to start doing. I'm about to go on a tour with Horrible Decisions. They're going on a podcast tour, so I'm going to be opening some of those dates with them.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's perfect for you, man. Yeah, like they'll love that.
Yeah. So I'm very excited about that.
And I think they'll freak out knowing that one of the most infamous guests.
Yeah. It should be fun.
You were getting a lot of heat.
It did go that clip did. Both episodes did really well.
Was it weird for you to know that like when you were getting like so much popularity with that, we all know comes the negativity?
No,
I mitigate that okay?
I thought it was fine. I didn't because what was so weird about that is because we talked about this when I went on the show again.
Yeah.
People were they were like, why would he tell that story? He should have took that story to the grave. I'm like, the name of the podcast is literally Horrible Decisions.
Yeah.
And it's horrible spelled as a whore. Like.
Right.
So he told his story, and then you were
about terrible hookup terrible ideas.
Hookup.
Right.
And you were getting shit on
a lot of people give me shit on for telling that story. I'm like, one, the story's funny.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have told the story if it wasn't funny. It's a funny story. Two, I'm aware that it's wild. That's why I told
it.
And three, everyone's like, I would never told that story. I'm like, yeah, but you don't talk for a living.
You're not an entertainer.
Right.
So of course I'm going to tell the story because it's funny and I make money from talking.
And a lot of people are shamed about their sexual
and I don't.
stuff,
And that's
you're not.
So I thought you nailed it.
Yeah.
It's the title. I was like, yes, well done. You get an A for the assignment.
I did the assignment, and that's why I went so viral. But their fans loved it. Like if you read the comments on those two episodes, everyone was like, favorite guest.
Right.
Like so, the people who loved it loved it.
You know,
I got so many DMs about it.
But it was very over the top. And then I've seen you also post that sometimes you're conflicted with being over the top.
Yeah.
You know, I hate that. Like, because I love going over the top.
Yeah.
I love comedy that's over the top. I freaked out when Joe and when Tracy Morgan started his set and it was like so over the top.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, this is exactly what I wanted. This is how and I like it when you tell stories that will singe people's eyebrows.
Yeah.
I enjoy that. Do you have to struggle with that a little bit?
No, not as much
balance
anymore because the people who come to see me, I've been on so many podcasts about sex between like Horrible Decisions and Lip Service with Angela Yee, and I'm doing another one soon that's about sex. And we're having gay sex with Ashley Gavin. Like I've done so many sexual things that it's like, if you come to see me now, if you just Google me, you're going to be like, oh, he's going to talk about sex. And if you don't want to hear about sex, then that's cool. Just don't come to see me.
Can we yell about comments on the internet for a second?
Oh, yeah.
Because,
yeah, we want Grandpa.
Yeah, Akeem will maybe agree with me, but I feel like some people, like, keep your comments to yourself. They feel like they must comment or they're helping by commenting.
Well, here's what I always say about commenting, which people don't even realize this because people are so fucking stupid. If you comment something negative on a video or positive, the algorithm doesn't know you're saying it. The algorithm just sees that you commented. So if you comment something, like, for instance, when I did lip service, unfortunately, and she apologized for it, which she didn't have to, but I got a lot of homophobic comments on those videos. Because the hip-hop community is still, unfortunately, very homophobic.
Yeah.
And Angela was like, I'm so sorry. I'm like, Angela, don't apologize. You're amazing. This is no problem. And I made a video reading the comments. But what was so wild was, like, what those homophobic people don't realize is, like, the fact that you commented on this, the algorithm only sees that you commented on this gay video.
And it
so
has
now the
this
algorithm,
many comments
exactly.
And
so now the algorithm, one, you helping me, but two, the algorithm is going to show you more gay dudes because it thinks you liked it because it doesn't know that you said something negative.
And they're giving you content that you're using to promote.
So now it's like anytime you comment something, man, gay people are going to hell, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, yeah, but now the algorithm is going to keep giving you gay people. So the best thing you can do is just not say anything.
Yeah, keep scrolling.
So that's what I want to talk about.
It's true.
Like, I will ask questions on the internet, and then people will comment back. For instance, found a drone. I'm like, how do I know this? And someone made a comment like, is there a name on it? Then I was like, well, why'd you? It's so obvious. Of course there's no name. Why would I even ask the question? If there was someone's name, if Jerry was on the side of it, then I wouldn't ask the question.
No, he's getting pissed on at the sex club.
But people will make some obvious. They're trying to help.
The thing about comments that people need to realize when you're getting in social media, especially when you start blowing up or whatever, is there's something about anonymity that makes humans the worst people on the planet.
Yeah.
Because the thing about the people, 9 times out of 10, the people that are commenting these hateful things, they don't have a profile picture, they don't have the real name. There's no way you can find out who they are unless you're like a tech guy who can find someone by their IP address or something like that. But for the most part, you can't find out who they are. And when people have this type of like anonymity where they can say whatever they want, that's when they're the most racist, the most homophobic, the most hateful, because there's no backlash. Because they're at home in Idaho and they're like, man, gay people suck. I hate black people, blah, blah, blah. But they're in Idaho and no one's going to shitty Idaho.
Well, so Idaho is the Florida of the left.
So it's like,
it's way over there.
So they'll say whatever the fuck they want.
Yeah, because there's no accountability.
Is it good to see it, though? Because,
I'm
sorry? So is it good to see it? Because I thought about this, because the more and more we live in a bubble of our own friends and family, right? And then you start getting rid of people, following people outside of your friends and family. So everybody kind of, you forget that there are still horrible, hateful people. And then you see that and you're like, whoa.
That's exactly why I remember the SNL sketch when Trump won for president, and the SNL sketch, they had that sketch of like, because everyone was like, how Trump win? No one thought Trump was going to win, but comics all knew he was going to win because we tour the country for a living. So people who are like, Trump's not going to win, people who live in like New York and LA and San Francisco, Chicago.
Big city, they
exactly.
Realize,
they're like, these people don't exist. I'm like, no. I've been to Nebraska, Idaho, Wisconsin. He's winning.
Yeah.
You're more in touch with the people.
Yeah,
you're
because I'm a gay black man in North Dakota. I've been to all these places. So I'm like, oh,
I've seen the hate.
Yeah, I'm like, he's 100% winning. And like, we don't believe you. And then when he won, I had to tell people, like, I told you so. I'm like, I wasn't surprised because I'm actually in the world. But the thing is, when you're in these big cities, when you're in these big liberal cities, you just assume, you're like, people aren't really saying.
You forget, like, how many people are in middle America.
Yeah, they're like, white people aren't really saying the N-word. I'm like, yes, they are. They're like, they're not calling people faggot. I'm like, yes, they are. Like, they are. You just don't see it.
Yeah. And then you think
when
it's
you
like,
tour, you're like, oh, yeah, it exists, and it's bad.
Yeah. So in a way, by seeing the trolls hate, although some of it is like, is this just a bot trying to stir up shit?
Well,
like,
that's there too.
Like, because then there's something where it's like not even humans.
The one that you're
or like some fucking Russian troll or whatever the hell it is. Like all this shit you're like, this isn't even real.
The one that you're referencing though about the guy in when you found the drone who wrote, does it have a number on it? A lot of people also use social media almost as like an involuntary, like it's as if their wife is in the kitchen saying, honey, and they're like, yes. Like that guy's reaction to you is it's literally subconscious. Like that guy sounds to me like he's totally addicted to social media because he's answering you like casually, like does
a
it
conversation
before even exactly.
Well, the thing about social media that's so good and so bad at the same time is like when you do social media for so long and you connect with these people, they feel entitled to you, and they also feel like you're like in the room like that, because that's how people don't really watch TV anymore. They all just stare at their phones. So when they see you every day or whatever, which is good because you build this connection with these people, with these fans, which is really, really good. But then it's also really, really bad because sometimes it fucks them up mentally because they think that they're your friend or whatever. So perfect example, I remember I was at the Cellar and Aziz was there. And I went on, and he was going on after me. He was running his set for like a special or whatever. Yeah. And we're standing in the hallway about to go on at the McDougal Cellar. And I'm sitting there, and I got off, and we're talking a bit because it's our first time like meeting. He's like, hey, good set, what's that? He's like, how are they? I'm like, oh, they're really good, blah, blah, blah. And the host gets on. He's like, hey, we have a special guest dropping. Please make some noise. He's working on new material. Aziz Ansari. Audience goes crazy. Everyone stands up. This woman runs up to him to like try to give him a hug, like attack him, and he dodges it, and then he gets on stage, and obviously he makes fun of it because he has to. Mm-hmm. But then I remember Val, one of the managers, kicked her out because of course you're gonna kick her out. You can't run, but she couldn't for the life of her. She's like, no, you don't understand. Her logic was, you don't understand. I'm a big fan. I'm like, bitch. He got a standing ovation before he got on stage. Everyone's a big fan.
Yeah.
But you can't
feel
just
a connection.
But you can't. And they kicked her out because, of course. But she couldn't fathom why she was being kicked out. She's like, no, you don't understand. I'm a big fan, and they had to explain to her, everyone's a big fan. You don't know him.
Yeah,
you can't hug him. You don't know him.
It's weird because people have the same relationship with us.
Yeah,
which I don't mind. I'll go to their house and hang.
I like. Maybe you're Mr. Anything Goes.
I mean, maybe even more so because they see us out, like in the community. You know, like I've had people just sit with me at Outback, and I'm like, uh-oh.
But even with Aziz, like social media, you start sharing personal stuff. You start talking every day, and you're talking every day. It's one way, but I understand. You start developing. We're all human beings. You start developing a relationship with someone, right? Like,
but a lot of people can separate the difference. But then there's those few people who can't. Like that woman, she couldn't. In her mind, her and Aziz are best friends.
And then now she's hurt by the fact that she was kicked out. They can rush someone to try to hug a stranger, and like, what do you think it is from his point of view? Like, I don't know this person. Although you can hug me at any time, I'm putting it out there.
I don't think he wants to hug you.
No, I'm saying to everybody listening.
Oh, okay.
If you want to hug me, you can pick me up and do the bear hug they do to Goodell.
I get that a lot. I get that because of my height.
Yeah,
like I get a lot. I'm almost 50 years. I'm a 50-year-old man, and I will get other.
Tell Daniel how short he is.
Yeah, other grown-ass men will walk right up to me and be like, "Look how short you are." They'll hug me and lift me off the ground like Hezbollah, the little guy that.
Is there a live chat thing?
Yeah.
Oh, what are the people saying?
They're loving you and want to buy tickets and go U-Haul sex.
Okay.
It's.
Is there boxes in there?
U-Haul? No, there was a bed.
Just a bed?
And a headboard and a chair in the corner.
Was it made for sex?
It was a studio apartment. It was
Oh, well, but was it a U-Haul truck?
No, it was like a moving U-Haul.
Okay, but
you got to listen.
They were
to
living
the story.
in it.
Oh,
yeah. Well, they weren't living in it.
I don't listen to any other podcasts or anything. I don't know what's going on.
Well, when you have a guest on, you got to do research.
Well, I looked at your Instagram. I saw you got food poisoning. That's what I wrote down. Food poisoning.
Wow.
I did get food poisoning.
So I did my research.
Favorite state, least favorite state, because you've been like, have you hit them all yet?
No, I'm at 39.
I knew you were getting up there because I like to see. You're gonna try to do all 50.
I would love to,
Yeah, you should.
I'm working on it. My least favorite state.
You can say Florida. It's fine. I mean, if
I
we're
like
there.
performing here. I would never live here again.
Yeah, I mean, I can understand that.
Alabama. Huntsville is great. The rest of the state is trash.
Okay. Huntsville, and then state that you went to, and you're like, you know what?
I've really
pleasantly surprised.
Lately, I've been loving Colorado.
Yeah, Colorado.
I was just there. I'm going back in February.
He loves
it. But
I love Colorado.
State is too broad because there's a good city in every state. You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
That's fair.
You know,
That's true.
You could say the majority or whatever, but it's like you'd have to narrow it down to like city or place because
my favorite. I mean, Denver's great, Chicago's great, Atlanta's great, Baltimore was fun.
Like, you know, different South Beach is compared to Polk County. You know what I'm saying? Like, or Jacksonville, Orlando, Tampa is so different. Like,
but you can say a state's trash. I can comfortably say Alabama's trash.
Yeah,
okay,
I agree.
I think that's fair, too. And that's coming from us.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure most people...
Huntsville is great. I will say I had a blast in Huntsville. The rest of the state can burn.
There you go.
A lot of problems out of Alabama.
Yeah. Always been like that, too.
And no one, I ever hear anybody
We're
say,
going to clean this up.
You know you got to go see Alabama. Like, no one says that. I've been 41.
Unless you're from Alabama. Yeah. I do know people that love the football team.
The Roll Tide or whatever.
Yeah.
Have you guys been to every state?
I have been to, like... maybe 22 or something.
Okay.
It's
Tom,
low.
you been to every state?
He's traveled a lot.
I mean, I've been to the outliers like Hawaii, Alaska, California.
He's been to the two toughies. Two toughies.
I'm at 39. Alaska and Hawaii are two that I have to do.
Alaska, you got to do when you're coming in for a landing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's for old people.
Yeah,
I'm trying to do a cruise. There's like a gay cruise that kind of goes to Alaska, so I'm trying to do that.
A gay cruise that goes to Alaska? That sounds amazing.
Yeah. Oh, I know. I can't wait. I don't have a date yet, but I've done a gay cruise and it was so much fun. So I'm trying to do more.
Yeah, I remember that.
It was
a couple years ago?
It was almost a year ago.
A year ago? Yeah. It was like right when we were opening back up, I think, and everything.
It was so fun.
There should be some sort, because I don't believe you can, because like if you have a layover in a state, you can't claim to go to that state, right?
The 38 states 39 states I've been to, I've made money in all those states.
Yes, there has to be some caveat.
That's the rule.
Like, if you made money,
if you pass through, you don't get the sticker for the back of your wheel cover.
Yeah, no. The 39 states I performed in have all been places who've paid me to do comedy.
Also, you should have to see more than one city. Like, just seeing one place. I went to Arkansas for a wedding one time, and like I went to Arkansas, went to the Grizz's wedding, and went to the wedding venue and then left. And I was like, I can't say I've been to Arkansas.
I think if you're visiting a state, as far as like, I mean, for me, I count it. If they pay me, I'm counting it. But I think if you're going as a visitor, I think you'd have to spend at least 2 days there.
Yes,
to say that you've been to that state.
All right.
If you're a comic, and it doesn't matter, because if you're doing a one-nighter there, you were there.
You're gonna go to Europe?
I'm trying to. I really want to go to Italy. I want to go to Italy. I really want to go to Australia.
But just to hook up with dudes, or like
I would like to do shows, but I mean, obviously the sex.
Yeah.
I want to have sex on one of those gondolas.
Hell yeah, that sounds great.
Yeah,
overrated. Not that good. There's I've been there.
I really want to go.
No
to
fun.
Italy.
This guy no fun. Resting bad face.
Have you been to
humble brag?
It's not magical.
Have you guys been to Australia?
No.
I would like to go, but the flight
I really want to go.
Just brutal, right? It's like a 22-hour flight or something.
I want to go so badly.
Go to Japan, too.
I would go to Japan.
Yeah,
I like
Japan.
Asian
I would
dudes.
like to go to Japan.
I like Asian dudes.
Let's plug his gigs a couple more times before we stop wasting his time.
TheImprovOrlando.com tonight. Akeem Woods is headlining.
7:30.
Yep.
Special guest who was Emmy-nominated comedian.
There you go. We know, you don't know.
And then you are featuring for Godfrey all weekend long.
Yes,
correct?
Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
We
two
love
Friday,
you.
2 Saturday,
we're
Sunday.
mega proud of you and
you
think
so
you're
much.
awesome. And we're glad that everything is going so well.
And you guys owe me T-shirts. You've never sent me them. I think I gave Tom my address. My address is different now, so I have to give you a different address.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure I sent them.
You did not, because I had my mail forwarded.
I don't think
the mail system is not what it used to be. They lost Sam's check the other day. You know what I'm saying? It's not as good. It used to be tight.
And I don't have a hat. I wear hats all the time, and I don't have a Tom and Dan hat.
That's true. We should send them all.
Yeah, we can give you all the hats. They're all fitted now too, so they're nice.
Message me and I'll get
Okay.
Eric your
or get
address.
it to me.
Okay.
How dare you?
All right.
Because Tom can't be trusted.
We'll see you. Bye-bye.
All right. And are we staying on for our guest? Probably not, right?
We got 15 minutes before he's here.
For who's
Is he coming in?
Yeah.
Oh, great.
Who's
That's
coming
even
in?
better. We have
Jaylen Christie?
Yeah, Jaylen Christie, who is a friend of our buddy Scotty, Brendan's
Christie?
Brendan's dude. And yeah, he is a comic book. He created a kid's comic book, so we're going to talk to him.
That's exciting.
Yeah, should be fun.
We can record another segment or something.
You want to do something else?
We can finish Monday 4.
Yeah, let's
we
do
need
that.
13.
Yeah.
Okay, we can do that. Alrighty, let me save this guy. Thanks for doing that, man. That was super fun.
No, it was super great. Who is this?
He goes back and forth around. Yeah, I know. It's weird.
It's very weird.
I've never seen a Florida lizard act like that.
Yeah, we have a trash lizard that lives on the couch. It's quite odd. But we don't want him to die.
Hold on, I'm getting all these DMs now.
People talking to you? Because they know you're in town?
They know I'm in town and they want things. Ugh. Hi.
He let Akeem touch him.
Yeah, well, I grew up like with fucking around with lizards. Okay.
I love you, buddy.
Thank you so much.
Don't forget your cord.
Oh, yes, that's my cord. Joe's cord.
There you are.
Thank you. Hopefully I'll see you guys this weekend.
Yes, sir.
Bye.
Probably not me because I'll be dancing with my daughter. Well, I'm not dancing. My daughter will be dancing, and I'll be doing daddy.
Yes, that's way more important.
Daughter dancing duties. Well, no, I really don't do anything. I sit there and play Nintendo Switch. It's like
it's fun.
Take care, man. Good seeing you, Joe. Got hot in here. Akeem was petting Luca. He was just petting him.
He's got the touch.
Yeah, man. Where'd he go?
He's back in the box.
He ran back in his email box. So stupid.
Yeah, we've been feeding him in there, and that's what
I think that's why he goes in there too. All right, 15 minutes before our guest gets here, or 13 rather. Sam said, I can get voicemail emails.
Yeah, let's do that.
Perfect. Okay, I got the voicemails. Skunk number 3. I have not played the new Zelda yet. I haven't finished the last Zelda game, and I kind of would rather finish that first. But I have been playing. Maisie's gotten really into Fall Guys, so every afternoon we play that, and then she plays Goat Simulator. So we play really stupid games now. Okay, Mr. Van. I have the voicemails ready. Would you like me to bring us back?
Sure.
And this is the 4th segment?
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. 3, 2. Welcome back to A Corporate Time. Emails. Emails and voicemails. Sorry, I didn't mean to yell. I was like, email!
Oh, I thought we were just doing voicemails. Now I got to try and sneakily get these emails out underneath Luca's feet.
Yeah, and Luca, I apologize, Sam. Luca has been straight up white spray pooping all over the email. Oh, he jumped out. He flew
on my foot. He's on my foot.
Oh, he jumped out.
Oh, he's going to get Joe's bubbly.
Okay. All right. So Luca the lizard who lives in the email box. We bought him a whole, it's called a critter tote. We'll get him acclimated. We'll get him, put him in witness protection program. Okay. We're going to do emails and voicemails. Let's start with this voicemail right here.
Tom, Dan, Sam, BDM Mike.
BDM Kylie.
Driving to meet my mom for dinner down old 436 and got to the Colonial intersection. What is that big building with the giant, it's got like RVs, there's a boat. Doesn't look like anyone's in there. There's a used car lot in the front.
I don't think it's used. It's an exotic car lot in the front.
There's a car lot in the front. Either way, would love to know if you've ever thought about what's with that building. BDM for life. Love you guys.
Bye.
Is that Hoods Up? Is that the Hoods Up building?
Where did you say it was?
I wasn't listening. I don't listen to the voicemails.
There's odd. I encountered this every once in a while too, where I'll drive past a building that's been abandoned for a while, and then it looks like
it draws me in. It pulls me in.
Well, whoever owns it is storing some of their bric-a-brac there, like a boat or something, because it's their property. But they own, and I'm like, why aren't they utilizing this? And then I think the answer is
it's usually old money. Dad died, right? And their family's just sitting on the money to sell the land, and it's usually the kids are all fighting over the land that their dad had,
or it's for sale for a certain price, and they're waiting till the market gets
I know
there.
what they're talking about. I literally asked my husband this past weekend what that building was. So it is over by, it's 436 in Colonial. It's right on the corner, and it's by Curaleaf.
Oh!
And it has RVs and boats, and it's like 2 different buildings, and they have like open areas and then closed areas. It just looks like storage, but it looks like it used to be a building for something else. I don't know what it is.
I mean, it could quite possibly be an empty lot that somebody turned into adult toy storage, which I know the old joke is you take a picture of that and then you send it to somebody and say,
I feel like it's illegal, like an illegal junkyard or something.
This is where your mom keeps her dildos.
Well, especially now because the internet makes it easy for you to advertise, there are people that have land that have turned that land into storage and would charge a way cheaper rate than the corporate storage rates.
There are friends of mine that have campers that will, a couple of buddies of mine that I knew from St. Augustine when I went to Flagler College, that travel doing that. They use the internet to find people that have areas that they can kind of like
to stay for
homestead, and they'll go and they'll fill it out and work a deal and pay the person, and then they stay there.
There's so much like land that has just been passed down, and then all of a sudden, like, you end up with having land that you and some other people in your family own, and it just sits there, and then you're like, you can't get everybody to agree to sell it, so it just sits there. Or someone like wants a certain amount, and then you can't get that amount, and everybody's arguing, and then it's like it just gets stuck in limbo, right? And then it's just sitting there, and you're like, why? There's two, like, right on Lakemont, and if you go down Lakemont all the way till you get to Horatio, right?
Okay.
Right near my house, there's two plots of land that they use one of them every year for like fireworks or Christmas trees.
Okay.
And it looks like perfect for a gas station, right? It's like that square that a gas station would be on the corner, and they're side by side, and they've been sitting there unused, vacant for 12, 13 years since I moved in.
Yeah.
And then I look at them, I'm like, you would think someone would buy this.
They are.
And put a gas station or some store.
They want to, but the family's fight. It's usually the two brothers are arguing over. It's always family fights.
It's got to be the reason, but no one's utilizing it. It just sits there. And it's like, and then I guess every, 4th of July and Christmas season, like, someone rents it from them. But besides that, it just sits. You have to pay property taxes. Yeah. It's on a busy road.
They probably take the money from the Christmas trees and fireworks to pay the property taxes, and that's the only reason they do it.
Yeah. And then maybe there's some value in just sitting on the property until someone makes you an offer you can't refuse.
I know old men always think that, right? Old men are notoriously in DeLand, sometimes around Orlando. We worked with people that had dads, and old men will buy land and then put a warehouse on it or something. They'll sit on that warehouse. They'll die. And then the family notoriously
It'll be worth something.
Yeah, it's fighting over, and then eventually they liquidate it, and then you get like $7 million, and they have to split it between like seven different siblings, and then they're squawking it, and the court cost takes all the money out, and they all get $150,000. Great job. You pissed it all away because you were fighting, and this one didn't want to sell. That it's happened in my family.
Yeah.
My family fought everything away. Like my family,
sometimes it goes back to the state if people don't pay the taxes on the end.
Like my family fought over everything until they all hated each other. They all ran in different directions. Great job. You did a great job. Well done.
And nowadays I feel that you could use your property for a lot more things than you used to be able to do.
Especially in Florida.
You could probably do something really, really good with it, right?
I mean, there's so many, like the storage, like now they have peer-to-peer. What is it called? It's like if you have a space on the side of your house, you could put it on this app, and then someone could store their RV.
We were just talking about this. What is this thing?
It's like a peer-to-peer Uber or whatever else, Swimly or that kind of thing.
Halsey.
Where it's like you have a space, you have a concrete pad on the side of your house, and then someone stores their RV there in your neighborhood, and it's cheaper. Like they're paying $80 a month to you instead of the $150 that you'd pay up at the storage unit place. So there's like so much like ability to make money off of just land, or like, man, if you have a vacant lot that you're just sitting on.
We could do less work if we had a bunch of vacant lots. We don't have to do nothing.
Yeah. God,
hey, Sam, let's go check the vacant lot. It's good. All right, we're going home.
Do you know how many people?
I mean, you got to sell it. You can't just sit on it.
No. We're using
You're
it
gonna rent it out for storage.
Adult toy storage. I drive by there. The dogs are barking. Everything's fine.
I remember when
I had to shoo away a couple crackheads.
Like in 2009 in the recession, when everything was, all houses were like foreclosures and stuff like that. Like there are tons of people that had liquid cash that bought the 6 of these things for $70,000 a piece, and then now this much time removed, they're just getting paid $10,000 a month or whatever, in rent, and they're just sitting there, and the houses are paid off, and it's like $10,000 a month, $10,000 a month. That's nice.
Smart.
Jimmy did some of that. That's how he's so rich in a goddamn mansion.
Jimmy
now.
Is so
he
rich.
was telling me that he's like, when he bought a bunch of those houses.
And here's something I know about Jimmy, and I'll bet my life on it. He thinks he's better than you.
Yeah.
Just so you know.
Oh, yeah.
Just so you know. And chances are he is, but I'm just saying. Let's do some emails.
All right, let's get one of the
that one's
doo-doo ones
yucky.
out
I'm
of the
sorry,
way.
Sam. That one's got lizard crap all over it.
I'm going to bitch about something real quick.
You've been
because
doing this a
lizard
lot
crap back
lately.
down?
because my wife,
You've been bitching a lot lately.
my wife,
Grumpy old man
Akeem
now.
Woods, our friend, comedian, came in and you bitched for an hour.
she will be driving, and then she'll bring up the fact, she's like, imagine if we bought a house in 2009, because there were houses like that were on the intercoastal.
You have an amazing house. What are you talking about?
No, but she's like, imagine what it'd be worth right now. It's like,
Well, sure. Anyone could say
that's,
that.
That's what I say.
Imagine if I was
So-
born Baron
Imagine
Trump.
if I won
I'd
the
be
lottery
rich
today.
right now.
But also, I tell her every single time, I'm like, yeah.
But we didn't.
We didn't. But not only that, we couldn't. We
Right.
didn't have
You
the
need that
money.
money, yeah.
So it's not because your argument would be better if we did have the money.
What's the
and-
argument?
No,
Or is she
she's
just stating a fact?
making me feel bad.
Yeah, it's an emotional statement.
It's
He
like,
doesn't. Yeah. It didn't-
Imagine if we.
yeah, it doesn't need to be said. It's
And-
literally, she could have said, what if fairies are real? And he'll have the same response.
And then I'm like, at one time, Amazon was $1 a share, or
Yeah.
Bitcoin
And they just did books.
was cents. Like 3 cents per Bitcoin or whatever. Like you could do this with everything.
Imagine if
Why
you had
going-
never purchased a house and were still renting.
Yeah.
You should counter with that.
Why even bring this up? It's an imaginary scenario that I could do nothing about that is just making you feel bad. Anyway.
Yeah.
all right.
Okay. You feel better? Yeah. You look better. Color came
I
back.
don't feel better.
Your color came
I
back.
said it, and it makes me more mad.
Then forget it. Next email.
Midnight release. The last one I did was Destiny. I got home around 12:20 and fell asleep at 1:30ish, still waiting for the day one patch to download. Now with digital, you download or the night before, and in some cases, set your location to New Zealand to play early.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's a nice little hack.
Yeah, that's a nice little piece of information to know. I've never done midnight releases. To me are done. That is, it's came and went. The only one I did, and it wasn't a midnight, but the last one that I did was the Apple iPhone 3 or 4. 3 or 4. And I got there really, really early, or I would take off. Remember, I'd take off from the morning show.
Yeah, you wait in line,
to
do
go
the
to
whole
that. But I
thing.
hated my jobs. I
Yeah.
was like, yeah, it's fine.
But you still felt motivated to
I did.
do the wait in line thing.
Don't do it anymore. Man, everything is download now. And what he's saying is that, like, for midnight release, and again, on a Nintendo game, I would say, yes, do it. You'll have fun. The game's all there. It's good to go. But most other games are going to need patches, day one, help, because they're just going to be broken. There's going to be certain code in there that's not right, or things that they didn't want to, to be released. And it's probably going to take you an hour or so to download everything before you can even play the game.
I'm jealous of the people that are excited about things that come out and feel compelled to go.
You don't do it
somewhere.
with even shows? Like, if you knew that, like, Righteous Gemstones is coming back, you don't get a little tingle about
Yeah. No, I like.
See, it's in there. It's just, I don't think your priorities are maybe a little.
Well, that's thinking about, like, hey, I want to watch the show. I go home and it's on demand.
But that's joy. That's like the video game.
No. But when you actually spend calories to get in your car, drive somewhere, do something that's standing in line is a pain in the ass.
It
Like,
is.
no one likes to do it.
No.
So that's what I'm saying. You're compelled to do this for this particular
Samantha's,
thing.
when she was talking about her husband wanting the physical copy of the game because he's a collect, like, that totally makes sense to me. Like, that one I get.
Yeah.
I
But
totally
he
get it.
just pre-ordered it online. He didn't go to
Oh, he
any-
didn't?
Yeah, he didn't go to a
That,
midnight release.
that's yeah. It's,
But I like the idea of I can see, especially for Zelda, the physical copy. I get it. Zelda is like, it's right under Mario. I mean, a nut hair under Mario.
Sam, could you think of anything that you would camp in a parking lot for?
Not off the top of my head, no. But I also don't like camping.
Even
You're picking like
well, no
one
one
of her
likes
least
camping.
favorite things.
Especially in a parking
Well,
lot.
I won't do camping. Apparently, you guys do, even though you don't like it, which is odd. But
Yeah. Well, I'm
back to liking it
I've
again.
never done like a Black Friday. I've never done a midnight release. I've never done any of that.
What if?
Or jump online to get tickets.
Okay, what's your favorite?
Jumping online's different.
Yeah. But again, it's all about how much effort.
How much
I
it
just
puts you
turn
out.
my phone on.
Yeah,
I'm
right,
like, here we go.
Because there are people that will camp on a sidewalk or
Never done it.
and for tickets.
I think
to
I've done
something,
that.
like
I think
stayed
my-
overnight.
No, I didn't do overnight, but I did camp for ticket or get online for tickets, and I did it one time for an Xbox, the very first Xbox at a Best Buy. Does that count?
On the sidewalk?
Yeah, on site. Yeah, on the sidewalk. I didn't camp.
How
back
long?
in the day for concert tickets, before you could buy them online, or if it was cheaper to do it at a box office, I would show up early, but not like camp overnight.
3 hours or so.
Yeah,
it's the most I've done.
That's a long time. I mean, 3 hours to sit in a sidewalk of Best Buy is a lot. I'm trying to think of anything that could motivate you to do overnight camp. Best Buy.
But see, back in the day, I think our priorities globally have changed. Because back in the day, it wasn't that uncommon to have people get up at we got up at midnight because we want to be ready for the stores to open for Black Friday. Oh, Dad stood in line at Zayre's at midnight so he could get you a Nintendo. That was a thing because I think it was the only way you could do it.
Yeah.
Now, because everything is so saturated online.
Yeah.
I
understand there's less. I'm just trying to think of anything now. Like if I put together, I'm trying to think of there's some sports game. I can't think of anything I like enough.
I'll give you one.
What?
If you could tell me right now that there is a vintage Vespa scooter mechanic in Orlando that would come to my house this afternoon and fix everything that I am currently breaking on my scooter, if I stayed in line all night, 24 hours, I would gladly do it.
Yeah. Well, I could think of a lot of things that I'd spend overnight.
But nothing practical, nothing just normal.
Concert, comedian, show.
Dave Chappelle?
I don't think I'd do it for Dave Chappelle.
Front row, Dave Chappelle?
No thanks.
Front row, I'm trying to think of a band that would move the needle for you. Is there one?
Not to wait overnight.
I'd pay.
Taylor Swift front row, just like a spectacle. Britney front row, comeback tour.
If Dave Chappelle
NSYNC, I might do it for my wife. NSYNC comeback tour. NSYNC with Justin Timberlake comeback tour. I have to do it for her. I have to do it. If I don't get her those tickets, I'm the worst husband in the world, knowing that she's been to 42 NSYNC concerts, right?
Yeah, but you could also just throw money at it, right? Or does that not always work?
Andrea doesn't really let me throw money.
Yeah, well, I'm saying I guess if the only
trying to
option,
answer your question, I think,
but it's not for you. You're talking about it as something as a gift.
Yeah, you're right. That wouldn't be for me.
She
would do that. I will guarantee you right now, if the only way for my wife to get NSYNC comeback tour tickets with Justin. It's not happening, but I'm just saying, if it were,
I don't think that'll ever happen.
Camp overnight.
She would. I'd be willing to bet she would.
See, I like that. I like when people are interested enough in something that they're willing to do an absurd thing to see that. It means that you really truly like it. I can't think of something that I would sit in a parking lot tent.
I think everybody should think about that right now. Think about that.
I think most people wouldn't.
No, you're right. Yeah. Most people don't have anything that's worth anything in their life.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that they would camp overnight with.
No, I think most people would say, you want to camp overnight to save your family. Most people are like, that's fine.
All right. Well, we will see you tomorrow.
Got it. All right. What's going on, man? How are you? Thanks for coming in. We appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
Let me dump this file real quick. Please make yourself at home. You can grab a drink or use the restroom, whatever you need.
Tom, there's drinks in the fridge if you want to grab something. Waters.
Where's that go, Sam?
That's Monday 4.
And the other one was Monday 3.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Daniel. Nice to meet you too. Pleasure.
I'm friends with your wife. Your wife and I were in the Public Relations Society of America together.
Oh, no way!
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. You know such a horrible person.
No.
She's the best. She is the best.
She is the best.
She is such a sweetheart. Yeah, that's really cool. Small world.
Yeah, absolutely.
PR is hard.
Yes, it is.
PR is like, I mean, I remember when she was doing it, and continues to in her own ways, but when she was doing it like only that, grinding her up a little bit.
Tell me about it.
It can be extremely brutal, and then the amount of pressure that they put on you to make things happen.
Absolutely. Yeah.
That's crazy.
So true.
Come grab a seat on the couch if you want.
Perfect. Thank you. Sam.
Yes.
Nice to meet you.
Now I gotta be careful because he's out of his basket.
Yeah, I am. Man, I shoo him towards. You got a studio lizard.
Oh, nice.
Get in there. Get in your habitat.
How's your day going?
Good. Long day of recording.
Yeah.
Today, yeah. But it's good. And
Can people get your comic book on your website?
Yes, they can.
Okay, great.
Yep.
Pull that up real quick.
And it's been doing well so far.
Good.
So it's been great. Praise God.
Okay. Let's get everything organized again. Oh, you get to see our lizard now?
I did.
Yeah. All right, we have a trash lizard that lives in our studio now.
I love it.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's weird. All right, everything is on. I'm just going to check our cameras real quick. I feel like I'm underprepared and losing my voice, Mr. Van.
that was fun.
Make sure your camera looks good. There we are. Perfect.
And you can pull that microphone close to your.
Yeah, you want to get about right about an inch off of it. And can you hear me okay?
I can.
Awesome. Can you hear yourself?
Yes.
All right. Great. And where's this one going?
Friday 2.
Friday 2.
So it'll be 16.
Oh, okay, great. Awesome. That's going to work out perfectly. Okay. All right, Mr. Van, you want to bring us back?
Yep.
Here we go. In 3, 2.
Welcome back to A Corporate Time. On the studio couch with us, we've got a comic bookman.
A comic bookman, who said that the scariest thing you can hear when a guest enters our studio, which is, "I'm friends with your wife."
I thought it was going to be
my wife.
I've contacted Mo.
Yeah, I know. So I saw Samantha. I was like, okay, let's see what's happening here.
Jaylen Christie is here. How you doing, Jaylen?
I'm great. Thank you for having me.
So let's talk comic books.
Yeah. It's kind of like a hybrid weird job, let's jump into it. Your boys like comics, right?
They do. They prefer comic books over normal books.
So does Maisy. My daughter loves graphic novels.
Nice.
That's what she's all about.
All right, now, good stuff.
So how would you go about making your first comic book?
Sure. So I'm a nerd. I'm a card-carrying nerd.
Yeah.
The Flash is my favorite superhero. I'm actually looking forward to the movie. Comes out in a few
you got to
weeks.
be like really excited.
Oh, I'm super excited.
And you're probably is it a bittersweet with any of the the kind of the controversy?
The controversy.
Yeah.
Well, there's probably not going to be a sequel.
Yeah, but it looks. I gotta say,
it looks good.
Just by the trailer, and you guys know that. And you probably know this too.
Mm-hmm.
I am really mean about comics on this show.
Absolutely.
I'm really mean about Marvel stuff.
Yeah.
I say how boring it looks, and I go, here it is again. I think Flash looks rad.
It's going to be great.
I think like the whole vibe of it looks like darker,
and Michael Keaton is back as Batman. So,
edgier and weird. And I think the controversy is going to help it. I think that's my prediction. Anyway,
we'll see.
So Flash is your favorite.
Yes, Flash is my favorite. Yeah.
Since what age?
Oh my gosh! So Batman was actually my favorite when I was a child.
Okay.
And then as I got older, I realized that Batman's not really happy. He's sad. Whereas
Tom is our Batman.
and
You're very much like Batman, orphaned a little bit. And
back to Michael Keaton for a second. How are they going to hide his old man legs? Because there's a thing.
leg implants.
No, I'm telling you. There's a thing, but in this, it's skin tight. You'll see Batman will have old man legs.
Yeah, they'll build it in.
Okay, so you have fake muscles.
Fix
movie
a flat.
magic. Movie magic.
Yeah, fix a flat. They just poof them up.
Yeah,
because
that's right.
all old people have old people legs.
I'm getting
and
them.
there's no
I'm
hiding
getting
it.
them.
That's funny.
I've been off my Peloton for a minute, and I'm starting to look like a potato held up by two toothpicks.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
Your Batman suit have baggy jingle pants because your legs are so skinny.
That's not his cape. That's his bell bottom.
No, you're good. You're good. No worries. No worries. This is fun.
Scotty probably told you we were weirdos.
Listen, I'm all for it. I'm a little weird myself. I welcome it. So I think the question was, how did I get into comic books, or how did I go about making my own?
Yeah.
I don't know. I developed my characters when I was a child, and then the game has changed. Now it's 2023, so a lot of people are self-publishing. And my background is public relations. I'm a proud member of the PRSA, Public Relations Society of America. So
is my way.
I also saw you're a thought leader. I consider myself a thought leader.
Hey, all right. Now.
I've got a lot of thoughts.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
In fact,
I say them.
he
Some of
leads.
them make no sense.
Some would say he leads with any thought that just falls out of his ears.
Listen, I welcome it. I welcome it. So I think throughout the connections that I made through the PRSA and being a public relations practitioner, I was able to access graphic designers and things of that nature. So I was able to self-publish it and make it happen that way.
So when you self-publish a comic book, what does that cost per book? How do you go about that? Do you have to have some relationship with someone, or can anybody do it?
It's immensely stressful.
Okay, all right,
that is what I will say. So I don't know, man. I was really blessed. I have friends of mine that have graphic design backgrounds, friends of mine that volunteered to do some of the photography for it. I utilized Twitter to find a colorist and a letterer. So it was a lot
That's
of
cool.
A lot of
Moving
work.
parts.
Yeah, a lot of moving parts.
Were you ever at a point where, were you sitting there one day and you were like, hey, I've just got to do this? Or were you ever at a point where you're like, oh, man, maybe I took off bit off a little more than I can chew? Or did you ever get discouraged to the point where you're like,
that's Crown Royal Apple is a great drink. Shout
out to Ken Miller. Ken Miller likes Crown Apple. Yeah.
I had my moments, but I think
That's
since
hilarious.
it was a childhood dream, I just kind of pushed through it. So.
I like that, man. That's really, really cool.
So you said you've always had the idea.
Let's go through the ideas now. Yeah, let's talk about your characters a little bit.
Stink Bomb Man,
yes.
and the Brain Kids.
That's right. Yeah.
So Stink Bomb Man.
Yes.
Where did that come from?
Okay, so Stink Bomb Man was actually created when I was in the 3rd grade, and I created my characters for just laughs, because obviously I was a child, so I played them up for fun. But Stink Bomb Man, he's from the planet Stinkopolis.
I like that.
I like that. Yeah.
He's an intergalactic peacekeeper, and instead of using his hands and his fists to fight baddies, I suppose, he uses stink bombs rather to subdue them. So,
all right, so he's gonna annoy them and disrupt them, but
that's right.
But not really. You're not severing heads. You're not injuring
Clear
them.
Exactly.
Yeah, I like this guy.
Do you remember the old
Yeah.
1990s
We
stink
were just
bombs
talking
in a
about
glass
this on
vial?
Saturday.
Do
Saturday
you
we were
remember that?
talking-
Yeah,
Dan?
I do. I
Okay,
do.
I was
Yeah.
about to say you look younger than us, so I didn't know if you
cooler, yeah.
remember.
Yeah.
But they're the little stink. I remember
You'd buy him at an Army-Navy store, at least we would, in DeLand. You'd buy him at the Army-Navy store, which was a horrible place that no child should ever be left alone in an Army-Navy store. But I would go there and I'd buy them, and then you would clear a bus.
We had this grumpy old band teacher one time, and then I remember me and the Wizard and some other kid. We broke the glass bomb, and then all the kids started reacting, coughing, whatever, and then he was so grumpy that he
I wonder why he was grumpy. He's got kids torturing
He's
him.
your favorite teacher.
But we were laughing because he refused to acknowledge the whole
kind of like you. You sound like you are your teacher.
He had to have smelled it, and then we like me and the Wizard were even saying like this guy has to it's impossible. It was burning our eyes. It stunk so
That's
bad.
a good idea for a villain for you in a future book.
That's right.
And he just powered through, never even mentioned it. But he was mad.
He wasn't gonna give you credit.
Yeah,
I like that.
yeah. Like that was his antidote to the stink bomb is not recognizing
I
it.
kind of like the idea that he did not give you the satisfaction.
And the kids ran out of the class when the bell rang because it stunk so bad. And then we were like, how did he not mention it?
Maybe he lost his nose in the war or something.
So the Brain Kids, what is that?
All right. So the Brain Kids. All right. So I created them, the two of them rather, when I was in the 1st grade. So you have Brittany McBrilliant and her brother Jesse McBrilliant, and they have no superpowers, but instead they use science, technology, engineering, and mathematics to save the day and combat villains.
I love it.
Yeah.
Anytime
Put a little stem on it.
I try.
in the like superhero worlds, there's always one guy they're like the world's smartest man.
Right.
But he's around like the strongest guy and laser eyes and stuff, and I was like, well, there's only so much intelligence to get you.
Yeah.
Like the world's strongest man can rip you in two. Like, what are you gonna think of that can stop that? Anyway. Sorry, Jaylen.
No, you're good. You're good.
So when you go about writing the story, is there a formula for the best comic book as far as how much, like, I imagine there's probably people that complain that it has too many words. Like, this comic book has too many words, right?
Yeah.
Is there something?
There is a balance between the art that you're presenting, the words, the story, the moral, whatever you're throwing in there.
Do they say, like, a good comic book should have this many words in it?
You know, so they do. So you really want your comic book. Mainly the reason that people read comic books is they're looking at it for the artwork, you know. So the story.
I'm mad that there are any words. I just want all pictures.
And some people are, and some people are.
Yeah.
So I'll tell you this, because I'm an honest person. So when I wrote my comic book, my letterer, the person that goes in and adds the word bubbles and things of that nature, his one bit of feedback for me is when I start my second one, he said, let's do less dialogue, because I had paragraphs of dialogue for my characters, and as a result, it would start to obscure some of the artwork. So he wanted me to dial it back a little bit with the sequel.
Good to know. So you, we would, like, if you were writing a comic book and it was, let's say it was filled with questions that you asked guests, me as the letterer, I would come in and I would squeeze the questions down to a little bit more of a bite size, so I'd have room to go in there and put some illustrations that better articulate his story.
Yeah. Just put 3 oofs in there.
And call it a day.
Give me a blammo.
All this long thing, 3 oofs.
Yeah.
Now, what about censorship? What about because nowadays any concept can be the wrong concept, apparently. You know, you don't know where you're going, especially when you're dealing with something that's going to be read by little eyeballs.
Exactly.
Do you have to read it 1 billion times and then get every educator you know, and then every person of every type of thought process to read it in order to get it the way you need it?
So that is actually a very, very good question. So when I wrote the comic book and illustrated it, my game plan was to have it aimed towards younger children. And then after having friends of mine and then doing a focus group and having, those individuals read it as well.
You did a focus group?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow.
It was decided that, Jaylen, maybe you should bump the age up a little bit. So not quite younger children, but still children, but just a little bit older.
Sorry, Tom.
Yeah.
I'll be taking this one.
Anyway, you would keep Stink Bomb Man away from controversial subjects. And also, don't start asking about what he thinks about the swim races. Who should be competing in the Stink Bomb Man to stay in your lane.
What do you think about the amount of Ukrainian funding? What do you feel? The Stink Bomb Man does not feel we need to be funding
That's
that.
Right.
We need that money at home.
That's funny.
So how many do you make initially?
Oh, that's the scary part. That's like ordering food for a restaurant.
Yeah.
Because I know it's cheaper to buy in bulk, but then...
And you're self-publishing, man, so I'm guessing that it's coming from Jaylen.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true. So I was blessed to be able to do the public relations for the Zora Festival earlier this year. And then I took the proceeds that I made from doing the PR for that to fund my entire comic book endeavor. So
that's great.
I printed 250 initially. They've already sold out. So it's been great. So now we've got the next 250 printed, and we'll keep going from there.
That's killer, man.
Yeah.
That is so cool.
There is a business model. You print too little, so it sells out, and then it creates this demand.
You know, that is the new way that almost every influencer that I see or every younger person...
Didn't work for our hoodies.
No, they did not.
Yeah, the people have told me this. I'm like, wait a minute, we do that, but it's by accident. And it doesn't work for us. Why doesn't it work if we don't do it by accident?
If you do it by accident,
it only works if you do it on purpose.
If you do it by accident, people get livid.
They get livid? Yeah.
They're like, why did you order more, you idiots? And they're like, well, we're making more. Just buy it when it comes out. Like, not
Can
anymore.
I tell you,
I only wanted it at the beginning.
I have never been more glad that you stepped in and showed me that what I was saying was absolutely flawed. Yeah, that does not work for us at all. Not at all. Not about any product we ever do.
Only when you do it on purpose.
So many headbands on the website.
God
So are you working on a different version or a new story or new?
Yeah. So Stink Bomb and the Brain Kids Accolades, as actually it's a 6-part miniseries. So volume 1 just came out.
Nice.
And the Brain Kids, with the help of Stinkbomb Man, they're investigating the disappearance of their father, Dr. Jeffrey McBrilliant, who's disappeared under mysterious...
That got dark. I like that.
Yeah, it's a little dark. It's a little dark.
I like
so,
that. Where's our dad?
Yeah, so all signs point to Nicodemus Graves, who's the
I knew it was him.
billionaire industrialist CEO of Grave Corp Industries.
Never trust the Graves.
Never trust a man with his last name as Graves.
Yeah,
you know,
horrible,
abysmal.
I love this. This is fantastic.
Yeah.
So you got 5 more books.
I've got 5 more books,
and you already got the story. It's already ready to go. You just gotta work on them.
I've just gotta.
You just gotta do PR, fund them, and then do all the stressful part.
It's a process, man. It's
Jaylen,
a process.
Let me ask you, as an artist, what validates to you that you've done a good job? Because that's hard. Because people will tell me, they're like, man, you're just so funny, just so good. And then I'm
so
like,
attractive.
But I'm like, you're my sons. or whatever. My wife doesn't tell me that. But she tells me the opposite. I'm like,
you know, a lot of people around here.
Right, and then you're like, how can I trust what you're telling me is true? And is there, like, do you look at reviews that are far away from you?
That's a good question.
So that you see, like, oh, this person is not my friend, not close to me, and they're telling the truth. And if they like it, that means I did a good job.
Yeah, so my mom always says there are 2 people that tell the truth, a child and a drunk. All right, she always used to tell me that when I was a kid. All right, so I think for me,
or a drunk child,
or a drunk child,
or
a plot
really
twist,
tell the truth, but you shouldn't be with them.
Plot twist. So I think for me, I mean, when my family members and my friends came back and said, "Oh, Jaylen, we love this," I was like, okay, well, that's great. You're supposed to say that. But when children got their hands on it and then they started responding to it positively and then saying that they even wanted to be some of the characters for, Halloween, that's when I was like, cool. Okay, this is starting to resonate. This is very touching. And then I had some of those parents send me photos of their children reading the book as well and posing with the comic book. And that's when I started to cry copious tears.
I'm curious. Cool, man. The first print, do you seal it and like this is print number 1 just in case?
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. Absolutely.
Right. I wonder if that was a thing. And then like that's something you have because
that's
essentially
neat, man. If we have the first beer that came off, the first Tom and Dan beer that came off the can.
They're making too many of them now. There's too much of it.
There we go. We ran out last year.
It's not even important anymore. There's some 10 million of them out there. Just put a label on anything. Anyway, so I wonder if there's any comic book creator that kept the first issue and they got so popular that they literally made themselves hundreds of thousands of dollars.
You would like to think that Stan Lee, right? You would like to think that Stan Lee had all of them lined up in his bedroom,
you would
right?
think, absolutely.
I don't think he did. I don't think he saw a lot of the money that came from a lot of his intellectual property.
A lot of people don't think about that.
You didn't do this, obviously, to make money.
Right.
You did it because, this is just you wanted to do it since you were a child.
Childhood dream realized.
I like that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but a lot of comic
he's
book artists...
in here just to talk about accomplishing a childhood dream.
Yeah.
Not because he's trying to sell something or that we'll help you sell the books. Like, we will.
Yeah.
I bet
now
you Tom...
Tom's going to yell at you about business.
Yeah, Tom will think about you later tonight and be like, that was a unicorn man. Like, who does that?
Funny.
Who does a childhood dream when, you look relatively young, but you're older than,
Thank you.
7.
I can't even think of a childhood dream that I had. That's the thing me and Tommy had in common.
That's the saddest thing you've ever said.
Because Max would be like, I want to be a dentist when I grow up.
Max is a dreamer.
Yeah,
Maisie is a dreamer. Maisie wants to be an artist chef. I don't even know what an artist chef is.
But I asked Tommy, I'm like,
what? Really nicely.
Yeah, I think so.
My oldest son, I'm like, what do you want to be when you anything? Can you think of anything? I got nothing. I'm like, anything.
Speck of dust.
Just yell something that you like.
But then
what's
you
your
meet
dream?
Jaylen, you meet someone who literally has held on.
Yeah.
To his dream. He put it in a container. That's what my shrink says. He put it in a container. And then years later, he got to a point where he's doing well, and felt comfortable enough in his day job that he could go and do the festival, do the PR, and then take that little sliver, budgeted it. This is so organized, too, the fact that you did this. This is very much like something my wife would do. and then did his comic book.
But it's
crazy.
When you were a child, what was the number, Jaylen, that you wanted to get to? Because I'm sure when young Jaylen, you're like, I want to be rich.
Who doesn't? Who doesn't? Who doesn't?
Yeah. So then that's your real dream, right? Getting rich. I want to make proceeds. I just want to break down the dream a little bit, because I imagine young Jaylen, like, I want to be in a mansion.
That's right.
I want to have a water slide.
All the things.
Because I had that dream, and then it's never gonna happen, Jaylen.
All the things.
I'll never have the water.
You have a pool.
Yeah.
I mean, you have a variation.
You have a boat.
Okay,
I could
nice.
argue.
You have a hot dog float.
You have a boat. All right.
Yeah, this guy,
He went to Hawaii last year.
What?
This guy's living the dream.
I've never been to Hawaii.
Me either.
Nice.
He stayed on a volcanic island in
This
the
guy goes
state
to
park.
Hawaii and says it's not that good.
I'm just saying, once you got there, you're like, oh, God, this took long. There's just a bunch of black rocks here.
Oh, my gosh.
This whole damn thing is a wasteland of a volcano.
Yeah.
He got to stay you got to stay on the island in a state park, right?
Ooh.
In like a private little house.
You know how expensive that was? I'm still paying for it. I can't even buy the things I want to because of that damn vacation.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Oh,
Sorry,
all
Jay.
right.
Well, you're fine.
Well,
You're
if
fine.
our guests aren't
nothing's
scared
that
and
good.
want to buy your comic book, where would they go well, they're all sold out, right?
Well, no. So the second printing has already happened.
Okay,
All
let's
so
do it.
the first 250 have already sold out, but the next 250 we're on right now. But anyone that's interested can go to my website, JaylenChristie.com, JaylenChristie.com,
There you go.
and purchase it there.
How
Okay.
much would you sell your first edition comic for if I offered you money? Because there's got to be a price. Like if like $1,000. Like
Sure. He's such a nice person.
Absolutely.
Your
It
first
makes you-
edition that came out, you'd sell it for
I
$1,000.
think he saw how sad you are, and he's like, sure, if it'll make you happy, Mr. Sad.
Well, I wanted to know what the price was.
He's just trying to make
Why
you
is-
happy because you looked like trauma conflicted.
Well, obviously, I screwed it up because I should never, in negotiation, the first number you throw out, the was like, sure. Anyway, sorry, Jaylen.
You're good.
JaylenChristie.com,
Yep.
right? If
Yep.
you want to get a hold of it. Hey, thanks so much for being in here, letting us be weird with you. We appreciate it.
Thank you
and
for
if
having me.
if you have other volumes of Stink Bomb Man and the Brain Kids, please come in and tell us about it.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
Guys, are we out of here?
Yeah.
Yep, we will see you tomorrow.
Or Monday.
Oh, damn it.
Oh.
Here, you want to do it? I stopped it too.
We will see you on Monday.
All right. Now,